Number 1. The 1972 Ford F100 Explorer, listed for $7,800 and located in San Antonio, Texas. Here's a clean piece of classic Ford history. The 1972 F100 Explorer Long Bed, a truck that carries that rugged, all-American charm Ford built its legacy on. This one's at just 57,776 miles, showing that it's lived an honest, well-kept life. Under the hood sits a dependable 360 FE motor, a powerhouse that defined Ford's workhorse lineup in the early 70s. It's paired with an automatic transmission, giving you that smooth, no-fuss driving experience whether you're on back roads or cruising down the Texas highway. The owner's done some smart updates to keep it running strong. A rebuilt carburetor, new brake lines, and a fresh set of new tires. That means you're getting a truck that's not just a showpiece, but one that's ready to run, drive, and enjoy from day one. The F100 Explorer trim adds that extra touch of vintage style. Chrome details, solid lines, and that unmistakable front grille that screams classic Ford. It's a truck that looks tough, feels solid, and sounds even better when you turn the key and let that 360 roar to life. This one's described as running and driving, with a clean title in hand, ready for its next chapter. Whether you're looking to daily it, take it to local shows, or start a light restoration project, this F100 is a perfect candidate. It's the kind of truck that needs nothing but an owner who appreciates what it stands for: simplicity, strength, and soul. For $7,800, it's priced just right for what it is. A straight, classic, mechanically sound Ford that still carries its original spirit. Trucks like these are getting harder to find in honest condition, especially ones that haven't been overdone or modernized beyond recognition. So if you're in San Antonio, Texas, and you've been hunting for that perfect vintage pickup, one that's reliable, runs right, and still wears its original Ford pride, this 1972 F100 Explorer might just be the classic you've been waiting for. Number 2. The 1985 Chevrolet K30, listed at $8,995 and located in Greenbrier, Arkansas. Here's a truck that doesn't just look tough. It is tough. This is Hammer, a 1985 M1000 and 8 CUCV, built by General Motors for the United States military. These weren't made for comfort or show. They were made to work, to haul, and to last. This particular K30 has lived a pretty interesting life. After its military service, it was retired from the Romance, Arkansas Fire Department, where it continued to serve in a different kind of uniform. Today, it's still in great shape, with no real rust to speak of, a rarity for a truck that's seen decades of duty. It's showing 45,000 miles, powered by the legendary 6.2-liter Detroit diesel, paired with a TH400 automatic transmission and a manual 4x4 setup. Out back, you got the bulletproof 14-bolt rear end, making this truck ready for just about anything you throw at it. The owner's clearly taking care of it. New batteries, new tires, fresh oil change, and new glow plugs. It's got a few smart upgrades too. Manual glow plug control, a doghead relay mod, and a pair of Super 10 mufflers that give it that deep, commanding diesel tone every gearhead loves. It's also equipped with a fuel transfer tank and an in-bed toolbox, making it practical for farm work, construction, or off-grid adventures. The seller notes it could use a new drag link to tighten up the steering, but otherwise, this truck runs and drives great. And here's the thing, the seller's not in a rush. Price is firm at $8,995. No trades, no deliveries. That's fair, considering how solid and rare these old cucks have become. Hammer is one of those trucks that speaks for itself, rugged, reliable, and built with purpose. It's not polished or pampered. It's the real deal, the kind of rig that'll outlast most modern pickups on the market today. So if you're in Greenbrier, Arkansas, and you've been looking for an authentic military-grade workhorse, something with grit, history, and that unmistakable diesel heartbeat, this 1985 Chevrolet K30 CZV might just be the one. Number 3. The 1986 Dodge Ram 1500 regular cab, listed at $9,500 and located in Crandall, Texas. Now here's a true piece of classic American steel, the 1986 Dodge Ram 1500 regular cab, a survivor from the era when trucks were built simple, strong, and honest. This beauty shows 46,000 miles on the odometer and runs with an automatic transmission that shifts smooth, steady, and confident. The owner describes it as en buen estado, funciona bien, in good condition and runs great. And you can see it in the details. The stance, the shine, the way it fires right up. It's not a truck that sits around collecting dust. It's one that's been cared for, ready to hit the road whenever you are. The paint has been recently redone, giving it a clean, glossy finish that makes this classic pop once again. Underneath that shine, you got that old-school Dodge toughness, heavy metal panels, solid lines, and a body that tells a story of durability and grit. Open the door and you'll find a cabin that reflects that same spirit. Nothing overly fancy, just straightforward craftsmanship from the days when Dodge trucks were made for work, but style with attitude. Every gauge, every lever, and every sound of that engine reminds you of a time when driving a truck meant power, pride, and purpose. It also comes with a clean title, meaning no hidden issues or red flags, just a truck that's ready for the next owner to appreciate the way it deserves. It's hard to find a 1986 Ram this clean, especially one that runs as well and still looks this good. Whether you're a classic truck enthusiast, a collector, or just someone who wants a dependable weekend cruiser with character, this 86 Dodge Ram 1500 is a perfect choice. It's strong, it's stylish, and it carries that unmistakable vintage Dodge DNA. At $9,500 and located in Crandall, Texas, this one's ready to turn heads wherever it goes. Trucks like this don't just get driven, they get remembered. So if you've been waiting for the right mix of reliability, nostalgia, and pure old-school American muscle, this might just be the one. Number 4. The 1976 Ford F150 Long Bed, listed for $10,900 and located in Eagle Bridge, New York. Now this right here is a true American classic, a 1976 Ford F150 4WD Explorer package pickup that originally came from the dry state of Montana. This truck carries that rugged, weathered charm that only decades of honest use can give. It's been driven 160,845 miles and still stands tall and strong, proof of Ford's legendary durability. Under the hood, it was once powered by a 360 FE, but it's now running a straight six, most likely the reliable 300 cubic inch engine, one of Ford's toughest and most dependable motors ever built. It's paired with an automatic transmission and a full-time Ford WD MP203 transfer case, ready to take on dirt roads, fields, or snow-covered trails without hesitation. It's got some solid upgrades too, a Clifford intake, headers, and a true MagnaFlow dual exhaust running all the way out the back, giving it that deep, throaty tone every Ford fan loves. Add in the Davis unified electronic ignition and distributor, plus a new radiator, and you've got reliability built right in. The truck's got power disc brakes, a comfortable 3.50 gear ratio, and that perfect stance that gives a confident, no-nonsense look. The patina on this rig is absolutely authentic. Not fake, not overdone. Just decades of real character. Now, let's be honest. The interior isn't a showpiece. It's got some wear, and the previous owner fixed the floors. Not exactly pretty, but functional. Throw in a carpet, hop in, and drive. The cab mounts have a little rust, and there are a few small spots on the body, but compared to most trucks of this era in the Northeast, this one's remarkably solid. The bed is in great condition, clean and ready for work or show. What makes this one special is its combination of originality and dependability. It's already NYS inspected, and the seller says everything works. Lights, gauges, drive systems, all in order. It starts, runs, and drives exactly like an old Ford should, steady, strong, and confident. This truck comes from a New York dealer that specializes only in classic trucks from the western states, meaning it's the kind of vehicle handpicked for its solid bones and lasting value. They're even open to trades for other clean classic trucks, but otherwise, they know what they've got, a piece of Ford history with heart, muscle, and story. At $10,900, located in Eagle Bridge, New York, this 1976 Ford F150 Long Bed isn't just another old pickup. It's a time capsule of American craftsmanship and grit, with that perfect blend of patina, power, and practicality. It's the kind of truck that'll turn heads at a show and still haul lumber on a Sunday. A true workhorse that's earned every bit of its charm. Number 5, the 1979 Ford F250 Ranger, listed at $18,000 and located in Decatur, Texas. Now this right here is what you call a Texas-built powerhouse, a bold, lifted, and freshly refreshed 1979 Ford F250 Ranger, ready to dominate the road, the dirt, or the show field. It's rugged, loud, and unmistakably classic. This truck's been driven 88,000 miles, but under the hood, it's packing a freshly rebuilt 351 M5.80 V8 that's as strong as ever. It's stock internally, but fitted with all the right upgrades. Headman headers flowing into Flowmaster 40s, an Edelbrock carbon intake, a Summit distributor and wires, plus new belts, fuel lines, pump, and filter. The seller says the motor's got only 15,000 miles since the rebuild, so you're getting plenty of life ahead. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, this rig gives you that raw, old-school control, the kind that makes every drive feel connected, powerful, and real. You'll also find a freshly serviced rear axle, complete with new fluids and a fresh coat of paint. It sits high and proud on a 6-inch Skyjacker lift, rolling on brand new 37 by 12.5 by 16.5 tires that give it that aggressive stance Ford fans love. And just to sweeten the deal, the seller's throwing in another set, a beefy pair of 38.5 by 16 by 16.5 Swampers with matching wheels. Perfect if you ever want to go full off-road mode. Now let's talk condition. This truck's bones are solid, very minimal rust underneath, thanks to an old undercarriage coating that's kept it preserved over the years. The drip rails are still in excellent shape, and while there's some rust showing on the body, mostly from an old, poorly done paint job, it's purely cosmetic. This is one of those rigs where the structure is solid, and the flaws just add to its character. Every light works, except the little license plate light, and it's got a clean Texas title ready to transfer. The trim is all there, and the new headlights, grille, and housings make the front end shine again. One cool touch. The front drive shaft is currently removed, not because it's missing, but because the owner never off-roaded it and didn't want to put unnecessary strain on the angles. The drive shaft sitting safely behind the seat, ready to reinstall whenever you want. Mechanically, everything's been done. The seller tackled the drivetrain, the suspension, the power components, all before ever getting to the cosmetic side. They've done the hard work, and now it's ready for someone else to take it across the finish line. This 1979 Ford F-250 Ranger is a perfect blend of muscle and vintage style, lifted, loud, and full of life. It's the kind of truck that turns heads at every light, and it's built to last another generation. For $18,000 in Decatur, Texas, this beast is more than a pickup. It's a rolling piece of Ford history, tuned for those who still believe trucks should be tough, raw, and proud. Number 6. The 1989 Dodge D250 Long Bed, listed at $17,900 and located in New Braunfels, Texas. Now, this one's a real gem for anyone who loves old-school diesel power. We're talking about the 1989 Dodge Ram D250, running the legendary intercooled 12-valve Cummins engine, one of the most dependable power plants ever built. It's paired with a Getrag 5-speed manual transmission, giving you full control and that raw mechanical feel that modern trucks just can't match. Both the engine and transmission came from a 1992 D250, with just 147,000 miles on them, meaning this setup has plenty of life left. It's not just a swap, it's a full upgrade. This truck's been cared for with attention to every detail. It's got a brand new radiator, a fast fuel system, and new fluids all the way around. It's ready to run, and it runs beautifully. The air conditioning works perfectly, and there's even a touchscreen Bluetooth radio inside, adding some modern comfort to this vintage beast. Whether you're cruising through town or taking out on the highway, this D250 gives you that classic feel, with just the right touch of convenience. The exterior's been updated too. It's got a newer style front-end conversion, brand new LED lights all around, and it sits on a set of new Nitto tires wrapped around fuel wheels. That combo alone gives this truck a bold, aggressive stance that turns heads wherever it goes. And get this, the whole setup has less than 200 miles on it, practically brand new. What really stands out about this D250 is the balance between preservation and performance. It's not overdone, it's done right. You get the old-school charm of the late ADS Dodge with the kind of reliability and upgrades that make it a great daily driver or weekend hauler. And of course, that 12-valve Cummins is the heart of it all, known for lasting a lifetime when cared for. You start up, hear that smooth diesel rumble, and you know exactly what kind of truck you're dealing with. Pure power, built to last. So if you've been searching for a clean, dependable, and tastefully upgraded diesel classic, this 1989 Dodge D250 Long Bed checks every box. From the engine swap to the lighting, the wheels, and the sound system, every detail's been thought through. It's strong, reliable, and ready for the road. A true Texas truck. Powerful, practical, and built with pride. This one's not just a pickup. It's a piece of Dodge history, ready for its next chapter. Number 7. The 1971 Ford F100 Short Bed, listed at $18,500 and located in Arizona. Now here's a true classic for Ford lovers out there, a 1971 Ford F100 Short Bed, and yes, it's a true short bed, not a conversion. This truck carries a kind of vintage charm that only original metal and honest patina can give. Under the hood, it's still running its original 302 V8 engine, paired with the original automatic transmission, a combination that stood the test of time for over 5 decades. You don't find that kind of originality every day, especially in a truck that still runs this well. The body shows off that perfect patina finish, giving it that rugged, time-worn character that collectors and enthusiasts love. It's solid all the way through, no patchwork, no shortcuts. Just an authentic Arizona survivor with a look that tells its story before the engine even starts. Step inside, and you'll find that the interior is in great shape. Clean, simple, and true to its era. The dash, seats, and panels all show pride of ownership, preserved rather than overdone. It's got that vintage Ford feel, straightforward and strong, just like the trucks used to be built. It's sitting on a set of fairly new tires, so it's ready to roll as soon as you are. Mechanically, it runs and drives great, exactly what you'd want in a driver-quality classic that's ready for weekend cruises or daily enjoyment. The seller's asking $18,500, but they're open to serious cash offers, which means there's room to talk if you're genuinely interested. Trucks like this, especially short bed F100s that still have their original drivetrain, are becoming harder and harder to find. So if you've been on the hunt for a classic that's honest, reliable, and full of personality, this 1971 Ford F100 short bed might just be the one. It's got the looks, the originality, and the solid running condition to make a perfect addition to any collection, or the ideal starting point for a light restoration project. A genuine short bed Ford from the early 70s, built tough, aged beautifully, and still ready to hit the road. That's the kind of truck that never goes out of style. Number 8. The 1979 Ford F250, listed at $5,750 and located in Parma. Here's a genuine piece of Ford's working-class legacy, a 1979 F250 2x4, powered by the mighty 460 cubic-inch V8 engine paired with an automatic transmission. This was the final year of the 6th-generation F-Series, a body style that many truck lovers still call one of the toughest and most handsome Ford ever built. This particular truck is being sold from a family estate, which usually means it's been kept around for years, maintained enough to stay alive, and only recently looking for a new home. The seller mentions it's been sitting for several years, but it's been started periodically to keep the engine fresh. Despite its age, it still runs, drives, and shifts good, showing the kind of mechanical resilience that made these old Fords legendary. The body is straight, giving off that classic boxy stance that collectors admire, rugged yet balanced. Of course, time leaves its marks. There's some rust in the driver's side floorboard and a hole in the bed where a fifth wheel plate once sat, a clear sign it was used as a real work truck in its past life. But that's part of its story. This isn't a show queen, it's a survivor, one that's earned every mark of character. The odometer shows 89,800 miles, but like most classics from this era, the seller suspects it's rolled over once, putting it closer to 189,800. Still, considering its age and the durability of the 460 big block, that's far from the end of its road. These engines are known for their torque and longevity, and with some tuning, this one could easily run for decades more. Inside, the cabin keeps things simple. No digital screens, no touch buttons, just the sound of steel doors closing solidly and the smell of aged vinyl. You can almost picture it sitting out on a rural property, hauling hay, or towing a camper through the back roads of the late 70s. That's the charm of a truck like this. It connects you straight to an era when vehicles were built for purpose, not convenience. The undercarriage shows honest wear, not the kind of hidden rot that scares off restorers. The frame looks solid, and with its minimal rust and straight panels, it's a fantastic starting point for a light restoration, or even a daily driver with vintage appeal. At $5,750, it's priced fairly for a truck with this much potential. You could leave it mostly as is and enjoy that authentic patina, or you could give it new paint, repair the floorboard, and have a reliable classic F250 that turns heads everywhere you go. And remember, this isn't just another old truck. The 1979 F-Series marked the end of an era right before Ford introduced the next generation. It's one of the last models that truly bridges the gap between old-school craftsmanship and modern usability. So if you've been looking for a classic workhorse with a real engine, a straight frame, and a story to tell, this 1979 Ford F250 in Parma might be exactly what you've been waiting for. With just a bit of love, it could be cruising proudly down the road again, loud, bold, and built Ford tough. Number 9. The 1978 GMC Sierra 1500, listed at $14,250 and located in Johnson. Here's a head-turning blend of vintage grit and modern style, a 1978 GMC Sierra 1500 that wears its history proudly, showing off that authentic patina, rustic vibe that collectors crave. This isn't a freshly painted showpiece. It's a working piece of nostalgia that's been kept alive through the decades, carrying the marks of time like badges of honor. Under the hood, you'll find the classic 350 cubic inch V8, paired with a TH350 automatic transmission, a combo as reliable as is iconic. It's also equipped with power steering, power brakes, and factory air conditioning, though the AC isn't currently hooked up. The odometer reads 75,000 miles, but as the seller notes, it's likely rolled over once. Still, this small block engine runs strong and keeps the truck moving with that smooth, unmistakable GMC rumble. One of the coolest things about this rig, the long bed been professionally chopped down to a short bed, giving a sportier, more aggressive stance. It's also been lowered and fitted with 20-inch mags, bringing that perfect balance between old-school toughness and modern street style. The stance is tight, the proportions are right, and it turns heads wherever it goes. Now, let's be honest, it's not without a few quirks. The driver's side rocker panel has a rust-through spot, and there are surface rust patches across the body, but none of it compromises the structure. It's solid where it counts. Think of it as a truck that's been through the years, survived them all, and come out with a ton of character. The patina look is real, not faked, not forced. Mechanically, it runs, drives, and stops great with plenty of torque and that distinct small block sound that makes every drive a little nostalgic. It could use a bit of carb work, just enough to fine-tune performance and smooth out the idle. The rear bumper is missing, but that actually adds to its minimalist custom truck charm, a clean, no-nonsense back end that fits the aesthetic perfectly. This Sierra 1500 represents that golden age of GMC craftsmanship, when trucks were built from solid steel, designed for both function and form. Whether you're cruising downtown, hitting a car meet, or just admiring it in your driveway, it's the kind of ride that starts conversations and earns nods of respect from anyone who knows old iron. At $14,250, it's not just a truck. It's a rolling piece of personality, one that's already road-ready, with just enough room for you to make it your own. Leave the patina and rock that rustic style, or take it into the shop for a full custom finish. Either way, you've got a strong foundation and a ton of soul. If you're the kind of person who appreciates authenticity over perfection, this 1978 GMC Sierra 1500 is calling your name. It's got history in its metal, grit in its bones, and the kind of attitude that newer trucks just can't fake. Number 10. The 1978 GMC Sierra 2500, listed for $6,500 and located in Grants Pass, is a genuine throwback to the golden age of heavy-duty pickups, when trucks were built strong, ran forever, and had the muscle to haul just about anything you threw at them. This one's a Sierra Grande 25 Camper Special, and that title means something. It was designed for work, built for comfort, and tough enough to handle cross-country hauls with a camper strapped to the bed. Under the hood, it's powered by the reliable 350 cubic inch V8, paired with a smooth automatic transmission, and backed by rear-wheel drive, a combination that's proven itself for decades in both dependability and ease of maintenance. With only 99,000 miles showing on the odometer, this old GMC still has plenty of life left in it. The current owner has already taken care of several important updates. It's got a new water pump, fresh V-belts, and new front brakes, meaning the essentials are ready to go. Mechanically, it's been kept up to the kind of standard that makes it a solid daily or weekend cruiser, whichever direction you want to take it. Start it up, and you'll hear that unmistakable small block rumble that defined late 70s American trucks. Confident, steady, and full of torque. Out on the road, it runs great. Steering feels solid thanks to power steering, and stopping power is dependable with power brakes all around. For a truck that's nearly 5 decades old, it carries itself with a kind of smooth confidence you just don't find in modern rigs. Visually, the Sierra 2500 has that old-school stance that never goes out of style. Bold lines, broad shoulders, and a presence that says built to last. The Camper Special package gave it heavier-duty springs, reinforced cooling, and extra features designed for long-haul comfort. Ideal if you're looking for a vintage rig that can still pull its weight. Whether you plan to keep it stock or give a fresh coat of paint and new trim, the bones are strong, and the foundation is pure classic GMC. Inside, you'll find the honest simplicity that makes trucks from this era so lovable. No unnecessary electronics or flashy gimmicks. Just straightforward gauges, metal, and vinyl. It's a time capsule of the late 70s, when reliability was everything, and every mile felt a little more connected to the road. At $6,500 or best offer, the Sierra Grande 25 is an affordable way to own a true piece of American truck history. It's got the right engine, the right stance, and the kind of rugged charm that makes it stand out anywhere, from a job site to a weekend car show. If you're after a truck that's not just reliable but real, this 1978 GMC Sierra 2500 Camper Special might just be the perfect fit. A ready-to-roll classic that proves the old saying true. They really don't build them like this anymore. Number 11. The 1985 GMC Sierra 2500 4x4, listed for $5,500 and located in Aurora, is a solid example of what made GM's heavy-duty pickups of the 1980s so enduring, simple, tough, and built to take a beating while keeping that unmistakable square body charm. This truck is a 3/4-ton K30, powered by the dependable 5.7-liter V8 paired with an automatic transmission, and equipped with 4-wheel drive, a combination that makes it just as capable on rough back roads as it is cruising down the highway. With 174,000 miles on the clock, it's seen some work, but like most Sierra K20S, it's built to keep going as long as you're willing to turn a wrench and keep it maintained. According to the seller, the truck runs and drives good, which means the drivetrain and engine are in solid condition. It's got a newer exhaust system that gives it that classic V8 tone, throaty but not too loud, and a new battery, so it fires up reliably. However, like many older 4x4 workhorses, it's due for a bit of front-end attention. It'll need suspension work, including a stabilizer, drag link, and tie rods. For anyone familiar with these trucks, that's a straightforward fix and an opportunity to tighten up the handling and steering for a smoother ride. The 1985 Sierra K20 sits right at the tail end of GM's legendary square body era, a design loved for its boxy lines, bold grille, and rugged good looks. It's the kind of truck that never goes out of style, whether you're restoring it to factory perfection or giving it a lifted off-road stance with modern upgrades. The bones are solid, the drivetrain is proven, and the platform is one of the easiest to find parts for, meaning this could be the perfect foundation for a full build, a dependable ranch rig, or a vintage daily driver. Inside, the cabin has that no-nonsense 1980s feel. Simple gauges, metal trim, and just enough creature comforts to make long drives comfortable. It's a reminder when trucks were tools first, not luxury vehicles, and that honesty in design is exactly what makes them so appealing today. With a clean and clear Colorado title in hand, the truck is ready for its next chapter. At just $5,500, it's priced right for anyone looking to get into a classic 4x4 without breaking the bank. A little suspension work and some personal touches, and you'll have a strong-running, great-looking piece of American truck history, one that still turns heads and handles real work with ease. If you've been hunting for a classic GMC that combines affordability, potential, and genuine rugged character, this 1985 GMC Sierra 2500 K24 x4 could be exactly what you've been waiting for. It's a great project truck with all the right bones, ready to drive, ready to wrench, and ready to bring that timeless square body style back to life. Number 12. The 1978 Chevy Silverado K30, listed at $12,000 and located in Creed. driven 154,000 miles, manual transmission. Now here's a real beast from the golden era of American heavy-duty trucks, the 1978 Chevrolet K30 Crew Cab Silverado. Under the hood, it packs a powerful 454 V8 engine paired with a legendary SM465 4-speed manual transmission and MP205 transfer case, giving it the kind of strength and durability that made these old Chevys famous. This truck comes equipped with front and rear lockers, ensuring maximum traction when you take it off-road or through rugged terrain. It rides on a solid set of 35 by 12.5 by 16.5 tires that still have plenty of life left, and it even comes with extra rims and parts, a huge bonus for anyone looking to continue its restoration or keep it running strong for years to come. The body shows some honest wear for its age, with early signs of rust appearing in the front fenders and cab corners, but the floor pans remain solid, a good sign that this K30 still has strong bones. Inside, you'll find that classic late 70s Silverado feel, simple, sturdy, and built for work. Trucks like this don't come around often. The K30 Silverado was the top of the line in Chevy's heavy-duty lineup back in the day, built to haul, tow, and handle just about anything you throw at it. Whether you're after a reliable workhorse, a vintage off-road project, or a collectible piece of American truck history, this one has the foundation you're looking for. For $12,000, located in Creede, this 1978 Chevrolet K30 Crew Cab Silverado offers power, presence, and potential, all in one tough, classic package. Number 13. The 1970 Ford F250, listed at $6,800 and located in South Seattle, a true classic pickup known as the Black Beast. This vintage truck proudly wears its age with an awesome patina over the original black paint, a look that simply can't be recreated. It's got just 21,783 miles on the odometer, paired with manual 4-speed transmission featuring a granny gear, and powered by a Ford D250 engine that doesn't burn oil, doesn't smoke, and runs strong. This F250 is equipped with power brakes and power steering, making it surprisingly easy to handle for a truck of its era. It also features 2 gas tanks, with both fuel gauges fully functional, a rare bonus on older trucks. The rockers, interior, and bed are all in great shape, showing that this vehicle has been well cared for through the years. The seller describes the patina as something truly special, a natural weathering that gives it character and tells its story. The only notable rust area, aside from the surface patina, is a small spot on the lower passenger side front fender. The owner already picked up a good used fender to go with the truck, so the next buyer can decide whether to patch or replace it. Over time, several key parts have been replaced or upgraded, making this truck both more reliable and enjoyable to drive. The list includes a new battery, alternator, water pump, radiator, and all radiator and heater hoses. It also has a new brake booster, intake manifold, distributor, cap, plugs, and wires, along with rebuilt Edelbrock carburetor. Inside, various updates have been made, from fresh gauges to assorted interior parts, keeping things functional and clean. Of course, like most classics, it has a few quirks. The tachometer is a bit finicky, and the parking brake needs some attention, either an adjustment or minor cable repair. But as the owner points out, this is an old truck with real character, solid, dependable, and full of personality. Currently, it's registered with a collector vehicle plate, meaning you'll never have to worry about renewing tabs again. That's one of the perks of owning a true vintage machine in great condition. So if you're looking for a classic Ford F250 that runs strong, carries its history proudly, and turns heads wherever it goes, the Black Beast might be exactly what you've been searching for. Number 14. The 1971 Ford F250, listed for just $800 and located in Collinsville, Oklahoma, an old work truck with plenty of history, and even more potential for the right kind of buyer. This is one of those trucks that wears its years honestly. It's not perfect, it's not polished, but it's solid enough to bring back to life if you got the tools, the patience, and the passion for old school Fords. Under the hood sits a 390 V8 engine, a tough old motor that does run. Though it currently fires up using starting fluid, meaning it'll need some work to get it running smoothly on its own. This isn't a turnkey classic. It's a true project truck, one that's ready for someone who knows their way around an engine bay and can appreciate the charm of bringing vintage iron back to form. The seller is honest about its condition. It's not terrible, but it definitely needs a lot of work. There are a couple of small rust spots on the bed, and the driver's floor pan shows some corrosion that will need attention. But compared to many trucks of this age, the rust isn't overwhelming. It's something most restorers would consider manageable. The body lines are still there. The frame appears solid. And most importantly, it's a great foundation for anyone looking to build a dependable old hauler or restore a vintage farm truck with real character. It comes with a bill of sale only, so keep that in mind. There's no title, but for those familiar with older vehicles, that's not uncommon and can usually be worked out with proper paperwork or registration in certain states. The seller also makes it clear that the wheels currently on the truck won't be included in the sale. Ideally, the buyer would bring a set of their own, but if needed, the seller mentions they could probably find a set to go with it to make loading and transporting easier. This 1971 F250 isn't a showpiece, and it's not pretending to be. It's a rough-around-the-edges survivor, a workhorse that's seen decades of labor and still stands ready for a second chance. For someone who loves the challenge of restoring old pickups, this is a low-cost entry point into the world of classic Ford trucks. Imagine what it could become: a daily driver with that unmistakable Ford rumble, or maybe a patina-style weekend cruiser that keeps its worn look but runs like new underneath. Either way, at this price, it's hard to go wrong. Number 15, the 1970 Chevrolet C10 Long Bed, listed for $8,500 and located in Montville. This 1970 C10 is equipped with a 250 inline-six engine paired with a manual transmission. The current owner bought it 3 years ago with the full intention of restoring it from the ground up, but as life often goes, another baby came along, and the truck ended up sitting more than it rolled. In the past year, it's probably been driven no more than 10 miles. Now, it's time for it to move on to someone who will bring it back to life and truly enjoy it. The story behind this truck is classic Americana. It was originally purchased from a man in Georgia who had himself bought it from the original owner down in Florida. That makes the C10 a fairly unmolested survivor. It still wears the marks of its long journey through time. The only real modification worth noting is that the previous owner sprayed the undercarriage black and primered over the original blue paint. Despite that, the inside of the cab still proudly shows off the truck's original blue color, a small window into what the C10 once was, and what could be again. Mechanically, the truck has had some love. The entire brake system has been redone from top to bottom, a huge plus for anyone looking to get roadworthy again. The owner also replaced the distributor, ignition coil, spark plug, and alternator, giving it a solid foundation to run smoothly. Under the hood sits a Rochester B carburetor. Whether that original or swapped in somewhere along the way is uncertain, as some 250 engines came with a monojet setup. The current owner admits he never got around to decoding the engine stampings. Time just got away, as it often does with projects like this. As it stands, this C10 isn't perfect, but it's honest. The tires are still good. The front bumper has a dent from a parking lot mishap involving a pole, courtesy of the original owner, and the exhaust system is currently missing from the manifold back. The good news: the manifold itself is new. The battery's been replaced, and the truck starts, runs, and stops just fine. It could use a tune-up to smooth things out, but it's far from a dead project. The odometer reading is unknown in accuracy, but that's part of the charm of a survivor like this. The seller says the $8,500 price tag is firm, and for good reason. He still likes the truck. It's more than just an old pickup. It's a companion for slow weekends and quiet afternoons, something to tinker with when there's a rare moment of free time. The photos, according to the owner, tell the story pretty well. What you see is what you get. For anyone searching for an authentic 1970 Chevrolet C10 Long Bed, one with soul, a story, and solid bones, this Montville survivor might just be the perfect find. Whether you're looking to restore it to its original blue glory, or simply keep it as a weekend driver with a vintage heart, it's ready for the next chapter in its journey. Interested buyers are encouraged to text, call, or email with any questions, because trucks like this don't sit around forever.